I'm a hula teacher and a student of Hawaiian culture. My connection to Hawaii is through my parents. My mother and father were both raised on the island of Kauai, born and raised there. And my mother's mother was orphaned on a ship from Puerto Rico to Hawaii. And so she was taken in when she arrived by Hawaiians, by a pure Hawaiian family, and raised as a Hawaiian. And so therefore she raised all her children as Hawaiians. And so today, what I brought to the gallery was a Hawaiian story about navigation and a craft, a lei making craft. And the material that we're using for the lei making is called tea leaves in English. In Hawaiian, the name is la'i, so we call it lei la'i. So in ancient times, these leaves were used for many, many things, like lining the roofs of their homes underneath the thatching to make it waterproof. They made rain capes out of them. And even today, we still use them for cooking, like tinfoil. So we brought the tea leaves for our lei activity here at the gallery because it's one of the simplest ways to make lei. We have so many ways, but this is a simple twisting braided lei, which you can do with many materials. It doesn't matter what, really. We make leis out of seeds, leis out of nuts, leis out of flowers, of course, and leaves. And here in the DC area, I just go in my backyard and get whatever I can find. I love nandina, maple leaves, oak leaves. They make beautiful lei. And lei in general it just means necklace. And in general, they're made for any special occasion, for any time you want to gift someone. And we believe that when you make a lei, your spirit goes into them. So you don't want to make a lei when you're in a bad mood or anything like that. And you can give them for graduations, for birthdays, for whatever. So I brought tea leaves because this material is easy to get from any florist. You can just go to your florist and ask for them. Sometimes they'll give them to you. This has been frozen, so it looks a little bit lighter than this when you get it. Now, if you have a lot of time, you can do it the natural way, which is you just lay your leaves somewhere where the sun is not going to get to them and let them M-A-E, or wilt. You need to debone it. And what you can do to debone it, if you can imagine the whole leaf here, is you can make a little clip right here with a scissors about halfway, and then you want to bend it and the bone will come right out. You'll just go like this and the hard part just comes right out. And that way you have a soft center. And you rip them, the bone will be out from about here, and so the leaf will be still attached at the top. So if I can do it like this. And then you're going to take it from the top and you rip it in half. If you try from the bottom, you'll find that it goes with the veins of the leaf and you'll make a mess. So it only takes once to learn from your mistake on that. Now that you've got all your halves, I have a bunch of halves here that have been prepared. So I debone them, I split them in half, and then what I do is I take a bunch and I fold them in half like that, and I use my newspaper bags, and I stick them in my newspaper bags and I stick it in the freezer overnight. And then they come out nice and pliable like this, and they're all shiny and beautiful. They are wet, so these have sat on the table for a little bit and dried out, so that's kind of nice. You can use them when they're wet, it's not important. So this is the method that I use. There are other ways. This is a nice, easy method. You just start by folding your leaf in half, and you're going to start in the middle by twisting. Okay, so you start right there. So since I don't have a partner to hold that for me, I'm going to just use my toe, hook it in there, and I'm going to twist both halves of my leaf to the right. That's really simple, but you'll be amazed. People want to do this. That is twisting the leaves in two different directions. You don't want to do that. You want to twist them both to the right or left. It doesn't matter, but as long as whatever direction you choose, you cross in the other direction. So I'm twisting right and crossing left. Twist right, cross left, twist right, cross left, twist right, cross left, and I keep going. So for the children today, a lot of them have just made bracelets because they can get the pattern and go about this long before they get tired. And then we just loop this over, make a knot, and slip the knot right through here, and there's their bracelet. And this can always be trimmed off however they want that to look. I'm going to keep going because we have such an abundance of leaves today that we've actually taught quite a few people how to make a full lei, which just needs to be longer. So the trick is, how do you make it longer? You have to add more leaves, of course. So we take our leaf. I'm going to add one at a time. That'll show it better. Here's my other leaf. I'm running out, so I'm going to lay this leaf over top of this piece here, and I'm going to wrap this in there so I kind of hide it. And then I'm going to continue my pattern of twisting to the right and crossing to the left. Now this one's running out, so I'm going to add again. Take my leaf, I lay it over this piece. I like to let a piece stick out because it makes it nice and tight in there and because I think it's beautiful. But you could add it in there and have it disappear. There's a lot of variations that you can do, and when you experiment with this, you can just try it. See if you like it. This is nature's gift to us, so there's nothing that can be not beautiful. It's always beautiful. So you just add it in there, and you're going to just keep your twisting right, crossing left pattern. I'll lower my foot since it's getting longer. Twist right, cross left, twist right, cross left. You just keep going until it's as long as you want. Twist right, cross left, twist right, cross left. Now I'm going to slow down because one way you could do this, if that's a little too complicated, is to just focus on one, twist it a few times, and then cross it over. Then take the other one, twist it a few times, and cross it over. So if this is a little bit too much, you can always work on just one at a time. Sometimes we've done that with the children. That's a little bit easier for them. I'm getting down to this part here, this tail, so I'm going to add again. Once again, I'm just laying it over this piece that I want to hide. This is my tail here of my tea leaf. I'm wrapping it in there and twisting to the right. That's my pattern. I'm twisting it over once, and then I'm going to add my other leaf. Place it over there, wrap it in, and twist. I've got them both in. One thing that I was having to tell people a lot is to keep their fingers really close to this twist that you're doing. I had people that were way down here, and that does not give you enough control. I like it. I like people to have their fingers right up close to where they're twisting it. You'll find that you can really be in control and make it beautiful that way. Okay, I think this is going to be enough for a leg. We'll see. All I'm going to do now is make a knot. So I've gotten to the end. I like to use as much of the nice green part that I can till I get to this stem here. So I'm thinking I'm going to need to make a pretty big knot because it's going to go through there, and that's my clasp for my lei. I don't want to be able to take it on and off, but I do want it to stay. So I'm going to use some of my twisted part to make my knot, so it'll be kind of big. If you wanted a littler knot, of course you could knot down here where it's small. So every lei is different. You just kind of figure out how you want it as you go. So I would trim this off, maybe about like that. I like to have a little piece showing. You don't have to, there's no rules. I would trim that off. You could even make that in a shape if you wanted to. And, well, since I don't have my scissors, I'm just going to feed this through right now. I am feeding the knot through my loop. Let me do that again. So here's my loop that I started with. Notice how wet it's gotten now. And I'm just feeding this through that loop that I made at the very beginning. And here's my knot coming through that loop, and that's my clasp. So there's my lei. I would trim this guy, I would trim this, but these I happen to love, and I think they're beautiful. If you don't like them, you can trim those off also.